once a new solution to a mega problem is proposed, it's not usually the most efficient or articulate. So usually what it is when people get the correct answer, the correct answer is usually in the gist somewhere, but it's not usually pinpointed correctly, or pinpointed at all. And so, yeah, I guess I lost my train of thought. Can you refresh
Yeah.
me?
Well, I was thinking about how Whitehead, for example, has his actual occasions, and there's a sense that because actual occasions are doing the thing that we can say consciousness is doing, it's kind of like an answer to consciousness. It's like consciousness is baked in, but it's also not really explaining it's reframing consciousness as opposed to which
Yeah.
is that a satisfying?
Well, so the question of whether it's satisfying ultimately is going to depend on the individual, right? So I
Sure.
might not find it satisfying. You might, our reader might, our listener might not. Um, is it an explanation? It depends on the details, I guess. I'm inclined to say no, but I'm not willing to rule it out. I suppose, I see parsimony as being, one of those, I think it's the most important epistemic virtue or theoretical virtue when it comes to a theory of everything. So what I would say is, if it solves a problem well, then there's probably a simpler way of solving the same problem well that's similar and that we hadn't thought of, that will then be a development of the same line of thinking, is basically my thought.
Yeah, I like that. Is there any set of requirements in there that kind of frame that idea? Like that sense that the puzzle, like you've attempted this solution to the grand puzzle, however, this is missing, or like, I guess that depends on the requirements that we're setting.
Yeah, I think I would just enshrine it by saying parsimony is the most important virtue. So if you've got a solution to a puzzle, but you've had to introduce unnecessary or unjustified assumptions to make it work, then there's a flaw, obviously, and it's an important flaw. And I would say that unless it solved all the puzzles, that would be the only way I'd be willing to accept an unparsimonious solution, right? So if even 10% of the puzzles are not solved, then my commitment to parsimony tells me that whatever the solution is that includes the rest of the puzzles is going to be simpler than whatever I've got now, basically.